by India that knew fully well that such an investigation would only uncover the ugly truth. With its false allegations exposed, India resorted to unleashing its missiles against Pakistan on 6th of May. Our response, both on the ground and in the air, left India completely baffled and shell-shocked, particularly after its Air Force lost several of their highly prized aircrafts and missile defense system. The Indian leaders had no option but to concoct patently false explanation for their losses. India tried sneaking in once again in the wee hours of 10th May, but their frustration was obvious, loud and clear. That very early morning, I received a call from Field Marshal Syed Asim Munir. He sounded calm, poised, yet confident and fully prepared. Throughout this crisis, his bold, courageous, fearless and inspiring leadership stirred the armed forces and galvanized them as a wall of steel. Surely he has entirely earned the rare title of Field Marshal. Our counter-strike Operation Bunyanum Marsus destroyed the enemy's defenses and shattered the myth of their military might. I must also acknowledge the heroics of our Air Force, led by Air Chief Marshal Zahir Ahmed Babar, who displayed exemplary professionalism in downing enemy jets with precision and accuracy. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan accepted the ceasefire offer brokered by the United States and other brotherly and friendly countries in the interest of peace, progress and prosperity in South Asia. More importantly, India's much wanted claim that they would establish a new norm was buried for all times to come by our brave armed forces. On top of it, these claims were ridiculed by the Indians themselves. In fact, Pakistan had given India a bloody nose as it suffered a serious setback in both warfare and finest diplomacy. The unprecedented synergy of our armed forces, the civilian leadership, and the indomitable spirit of our people, steeled by our faith in the infinite mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, granted us a glorious victory that will echo through the annals of history. In fact, it is Pakistan that has established a new norm in its relations with India. Henceforth, we should not allow her to behave in an arrogant and haughty manner ever again, inshallah. And if and when it does so, we will respond with full force. Nor will we ever allow India to weaponize water by holding the Indus Water Treaty in abeyance. This is an absolute red line for us. I must mention, and without mincing words, that while we have succeeded on the military front, Pakistan continues to face major challenges in the fields of economy and governance as well. Let me recall back in April 2022, when I assumed the office of Prime Minister for a short while, about 16 months, just to illustrate the gravity of the situation at that point in time. International banks were refusing our letters of credit for our vital imports like energy and other very important imports linked to Pakistan's well-being. Another most serious was the threat of international lending agencies of walking away from what they perceived agree on a way forward. And as a result of that meeting in Paris, in July 2023, we were able to sign a standby agreement with IMF, which averted an impending economic meltdown. Allah was absolutely, infinitely merciful and kind. Then again, assuming office now in March 2024, we lost no time to introduce major reforms coupled with cast iron guarantees to the lending agencies that we would not shy away from undertaking difficult, tough, but very relevant, deep-rooted structural changes in our system and our administrative organization. And we undertook those very difficult decisions, and through that we were able to calm those fears of our lending partners. Today, alhamdulillah, we are witnessing the fruits of those sacrifices made by the common man of Pakistan. Inflation has plummeted from 38% to 0.3%. Our rupee stands stable. Official foreign exchange reserves have crossed $11 billion, and galloping interest rate, which was 22.5% in 2022, have come down to 11%. Simply put, a reduction of 50%. But my very respected officers, these achievements, significant as they are, represent only the beginning of a very arduous, difficult, thorny journey towards progress and prosperity. On the way, we will meet huge challenges like mountains, rivers. We'll have to surmount them. We'll have to cross those rivers through commitment, unwavering commitment to our nation, to our people. And that will require sacrifices, sweat and blood. Without that, no nation on the face of the earth was able to stand up from the ashes of defeat and touch the zenith of glory. Alhamdulillah, Pakistan at this point in time is flying high. Our morale is very strong. Our armed forces, with Allah Almighty's blessings and your wonderful, excellent professionalism and the nation's total support behind you, we have won a war against an enemy which was, in the eyes of our detractors, was unthinkable. But we have converted this unthinkable into a reality. And that is, I think, our finest hour in our history. But now is the time to use this moment and convert this moment into something this nation has been longing for, praying for, that when that hour would arrive, when Pakistan's economic progress and prosperity would be not only witnessed by them, enjoyed by them, but the world at large would stand up and respect Pakistan's grit and its hard work and its infinite efforts to achieve a point for which this country was carved out under the leadership of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and sacrifices of millions of people who crossed rivers of blood on the way.